Oh shit.
that indigenous people
What the heck?
participated in rape, torture,
Wait, what?
slavery, and violence. I'm
I didn't even
super
know that
aware. You
existed.
don't need to tell me that.
Got it.
What the hell?
We have 5 chats.
What?
Did you want to?
I was
I
going to
didn't even know
smoke,
that.
I can do the chats first, unless you want me to. I'll take the smoke first, actually. That's
Yeah,
probably smarter.
take the smoke
Okay,
first.
I gotta pee.
All right,
Unless someone wants to ask me about that question.
Oh
Or
shit.
there's one for me. I
Is there
guess.
several?
Okay, sure. James,
Never knew that.
well, it's below the threshold. Okay, why not? You're lucky, James. You're lucky. Below the threshold. Enjoy.
Oh, this isn't the answer.
Charlie, why are Mexicans called colonizers?
I think I've seen
They're
that
descended from Southern Europeans. You won the lottery here, James. It took land from the indigenous people just like Northern Europeans.
They are. They are called colonizers. Indigenous peoples in Mexico are, still oppressed, even by people who share their blood. You know how many white Americans, even settlers, people considered legally white, also had Native American ancestry? It is what it is. They're in California. White settlers and Mexican settlers would be paid to hunt down indigenous Californians. So yes, that is.
Okay. Guys, Andrew's on his smoke break. We're gonna, as soon as he comes back, we have some Q&A coming up. I know they came in a while ago. Q&A, $100 plus, $99 plus, streamlabs.com/whatever. Also, guys, you can support without any of these YouTube, Streamlabs taking their cut, Venmo, Cash App. That is whatever pod. Just a quick shout, and I'll give you guys.
Where the fuck's the beehive?
Christian, thank you for the 13 on.
Oh,
I believe it was either one of the two. Guys, if you're watching on Twitch, twitch.tv/whatever, drop us a follow, drop us a prime sub, get some merch, shop.whatever.com. We have Discord, discord.gg/whatever. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, if we get this video to 7,000 likes, there's 10,000 people watching right now. It might have dipped a little bit there while Andrew went to take a smoke break. If we get to 7,000 likes, we'll try to squeeze in an extra debate this week. Our schedule, well, we have the debate today, obviously. We have Dating Talk tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific. And then Andrew has round 2 with Naima on Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific here on the Whatever Podcast. But if we get this video to 7,000 likes, we'll try to squeeze in a special third debate. Also, guys, if you want to learn how to debate, debateuniversity.com. If you want to become a master debater, and then once again, as soon as Andrew comes back, we'll get right into a Q&A session. $99 plus Q&A if you have a question, or if you just have a statement. That's streamlabs.com/whatever.
You're gone for broke.
Pull that up, Mary, really quick.
Get fucked.
People. Yeah, pull up the Streamlabs tab. Streamlabs.com/whatever. There it is. You can put a name there at the top. You can put your contribution tip amount, and then you can put a message in, which we will have pulled up during the Q&A session. All right. Good to go? All right, rock and roll.
I didn't even realize that.
I will have...
Sorry for deigning to answer, James. I didn't realize it was a...
No, it's okay.
Message from the government
We
of
need to
Canada.
consider the other patrons.
Steve George donated $200.04. In Canada, aka Turtle Island, many indigenous tribes, history keepers, and legends state that their ancestors came to North America. It was empty with no other people living there.
That's nice. I'm glad that they have legends of that. But archaeological evidence shows that there's a land bridge. At least this is the current archaeological history. That there was a land bridge which existed for thousands of years that they were crossing into. And they settled land, and other people came right behind them to settle that same land they settled on. And they would fight over it because they created colonies and already staked out land. And I don't know what else you want to say about it, but if you live in a land, according to definition 2 of colonizer, and somebody comes with a different ethnic group and settles the same land you're settled on, that's a colonizer. They're colonizing. That's what they're doing. And so the whole idea here is, you see the equivocation, how it's always a bait and switch? It's like, no. You have to have a foreign government that's funding this. Otherwise, it's not really colonized. It's like, that's bullshit. It's morally the same equivalency. It's morally equivalent. What's the difference?
Do you think settler is disparaging towards white people?
settler?
Yeah, settler.
I don't think that. I think you use colonizers disparaging.
Oh, I've heard settler disparaging. I was going to say
It can be.
I will grant that settler that yes, if they were they settled lands.
Yeah. So
Yes.
the thing is like if
Sometimes with no one there, sometimes.
yeah, but if you
without.
settle lands, right, that usually means not conflict. Otherwise, it's conquering lands, right?
Well, you can conquer and settle, can't you?
Yeah, after you conquer them, you can then settle, sure. But when you say settlers, like, do you consider the people coming out of Israel to Palestine to be settlers?
People coming out of Israel to Palestine to be settlers?
Yeah. When they come, when
Yeah,
they
they're
go,
settlers.
when they're making their settlements,
Yes.
that's not colonization.
It's both, but I would consider them settlers as well.
Okay, right. So they're colonizer settlers, is what you're really saying.
Yes.
Okay, so then you're actually saying that these people were colonizer settlers. When you say settler, you're just pointing back to colonizer in this context.
Kind of. I do feel like, again, to me, the context of there being a foreign nation, that they're under the jurisdiction is important. I feel
I
to
feel
the definition of
I feel
colony
like it's a
and
morally equivalent statement that you're just calling that you just call us colonizers because it's disparaging to white people. And the reason you don't call Native Americans colonizers, even if they colonized, is because you know that they would consider that disparaging to them. And so, even though these are morally equivalent acts, and it's like it's so obvious to the onlooker. Like you realize that, right? Like from my side, it's so obvious to us when your side calls us colonizers and shit like that. That it's anti-white rhetoric, and it's always been anti-white rhetoric.
think about it.
Isn't it? I mean, you have the shitty grin because you know it's true, though, right? Like you're just gaslighting. Isn't the whole thing designed as anti-white rhetoric?
I feel like you were taking me making a distinction between the 13 colonies, which were under the jurisdiction of a foreign nation, farther than it's meant to go.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because when I see you crazy ass leftists all over TikTok and all over these places talking about colonizers, the last time I saw this in depth, we were watching on the Crucible. There was I don't know how many was with us, maybe at the time, like 9,000 live viewers with me at the time as we were watching. People in front of Portland who were trying to resist our nation's laws. And one of the Hispanics who was there was going person to person and calling us colonizers, calling white people colonizers. You need to get the stop ICE right now, you colonizer. You came here and colonized. We have the right to be here. We have the right to be here because you're colonizers. And so the thing is like, yeah, I do think that he meant it, and he literally said it's because you're white. You're the beneficiary of colonization.
Yeah, but that's also kind of hilarious because when you're talking about Portland, you're talking about people with white guilt to the most extreme.
This was a Hispanic guy.
Yeah, I know, but he was talking to the white people.
No, he was talking to white conservatives.
Oh, the white conservatives? Okay, never mind.
And he was calling them colonizers.
I thought he was doing that to
and what you guys do,
white liberals and leftists.
Yeah, and you fucking progressives do this constantly. You call them colonizers, and then at the same time say there's no anti-white rhetoric. There's no anti.
I'm not all of those people.
Okay, I get it. It's a generalization. I understand, even though you yourself said that you use it disparagingly towards white people. But
I mean, it depends upon the context in which it is.
The context of most of the ways that I've seen you use it in your videos, it was not polite towards white society. That's for sure.
I don't know which videos you're referring to, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Like clips or whatever?
Yeah. Like every time I hear you talk about the colonizers, okay, it's not used in like a charitable light. And the beneficiaries of colonizers, it's not used in a charitable light. And when I see that, I know for sure, everybody knows who's watching it, right? We can intuit it.
Leftists are just Luddites.
And when we put you to the question, we figure it out.
Kind of. Pseudo-Luddites.
It's anti-white rhetoric masked as being historically.
Philistines. Phallic Luddites.
It's really not either of those things. It really is
Pseudo-quasi-Luddites.
for progressives to utilize anti-white rhetoric and pretend that they're not being a bunch of fucking racist assholes.
You gave us all the progress.
That's what I think is going on.
But those things happen.
Yeah, but when I tell you about things that happen, right, with Native Americans, you're very quick to make excuses for it. And yet, here when it comes to colonization, the idea that you had a clash of cultures, and anytime two cultures clash, this is what happens. Anytime. When you have a disparage between technology, it's always the case.
I believe it. Again, my point in the colony just has to do with the foreign state jurisdiction of a foreign state.
Yeah, that's one definition of colonizing. I agree that these were colonies.
Okay.
I agree that they were beholden to a state, and then they fought for freedom, formed a new state. So then they were no longer colonizers. They were born on this land. They were settlers. Well, no, at that point they weren't even settlers. It was their land, right? It was theirs. They fought for it. They got it.
I guess by, yes, European standards, they had claimed the land. Correct.
Anyone's standards.
Who has a standard that if you fight and take the land, it's not yours? What culture has that standard? All of them do.
More about boundaries. I mean, it could be fought back. They could say, "This is our land. We'll take it back." You know, like. But
You're here. Okay.
Genau.
Let's get started with
Du
today's
sprichst,
training
du weißt kein Deutsch. Halt deine Fresse. Schnackschlampe. Hässlich Hure.
The field has been confirmed. Please get ready to deploy.
Hässlich Hure. Hässlich Hure. Hure.
Just for context, this
Hure.
come in
Bitte.
when you guys were debating the race victimization stuff. We had
Halt deine Fresse. Halt die Fick. Halt deine ficken Fresse. Fick dich. Fick dich.
Yeah, but don't you understand the distinction?
Du dir dich.
Like, you're saying the same thing that I am.
Ich. Mich mir. Du dir dich. Ich mir.
Original groups, right? They were replaced by
Michelle.
other groups.
Preparations complete.
Most of them were replaced by other groups. And so it's like, if that's the case, then it's just what was left was probably mostly the remnants of early colonization between the land bridge tribes that took over other land bridge tribes. So
Mission.
it's like, it's
Final
colonization.
intrusion.
That's the thing that gets me, is it's like, but they don't want you to use that argument because it's always used as anti-white rhetoric. It's always used as anti-white rhetoric.
thank you, Casey. We have Benton.
The mission is about to begin. If you are not within the specified zone by the end of the phase, you will be removed from the mission. Phase 1.
this is a man with schizophrenia. I know who that is. Who has schizophrenia.
He doesn't have schizophrenia. Yes, he does.
Okay. All right. We have one coming up.
One operative is confirmed down and has been removed from the front line. Your buddy is confirmed down. Stay alert until they can return to battle.
Scream about politics, but don't know basic
Please retrieve your equipment and get back in the fight.
debate, but don't make a single argument. Get back in the kitchen.
I have a master's in literature.
But you have BA too.
I have a BA in English literature.
Yeah, but requisites for those class were history, right? You had.
Return to the front lines and rejoin the fight. 2 minutes remaining.
Sorry,
I'm sorry I'm not intimately familiar with interracial crime statistics.
But I mean,
Please retrieve your
do you
equipment
see your
and
point
get
though?
back
Is
in
you're
the fight.
saying like, if you make political commentary in the United States right now, we live in a very racially charged environment. There's no way around that. And the fact of the matter is that having honest conversations about interracial and racial issues has been very difficult for 15 years because progressives just de-fucking platformed anybody who talked about it for years. They just de-platformed them. And so now there is a way in which people can conduct and have these conversations, and you find out that many of the political commentators who are leftists don't even fucking know that this is the case. And so we think to ourselves, like, how many fucking people have been hornswoggled by these people? They don't even know how the intersectionality of people groups has created these massive
1
problems.
minute remaining.
And they don't even acknowledge it, look at it, nothing. And from my view, it's like, that's fucking terrible, and it's horrible that socially we have these societal issues and we can't do anything about them because we can't even fucking talk about it.
I would say I think that you can understand that poverty increases crime rates.
I agree with that.
Absolutely. But I do believe, again, that it is more likely for a black person to be convicted of a
30
crime
seconds
versus
remaining.
a white person for the same crime. So I'm going to have to stick with that.
Okay.
All right, we have another Q&A.
The current phase is nearly complete. You must quickly make your way to the zone.
Can Charlie answer the question directly, or does her colonized education not allow for that?
Would you like to
I didn't study collage in college, nor did I go to high school.
Okay, that was a good retort. I went that way. Yeah, you got it.
Zone
You
status
did get it.
confirmed. Phase
we have
completed.
Peace
Begin
Craft.
making
Question for
preparations
Charlie.
for the next
Coming
phase.
in here in just a moment. Flat Avius, thank you.
Phase 2.
Each craft donated $100. Charlie, would you kindly check if
Your
the
buddy
concept
has been- your buddy is confirmed
people of
down.
Papua New
Stay
Guinea
alert
use
until
their
they can
cultural
return to battle.
practices? Also, Andy, the Mongols had a capital, Khartoum.
Okay, that's fair.
Wait, is that the CUM warriors?
Yeah.
Apparently, they did stop doing that after they got in touch with
Christian.
people from the outside world.
No, Christian.
Was it Christians
Yeah, it was
or was
Christian.
it people from the
It was
outside?
Christian. I've argued this with Peacecraft before. Christian missionaries. And by the way, I brought the Mongols up. I was just trying to give quick examples of like, if it is the case that you in any way, shape, or form settle in this area, according to definition 2, if you become a colonizer, it appears that you do. But even under that definition, it would have been colonizers, right? Peacecraft, so. But anyway, yeah, that's his point. Is like, if you pull a question back up, Brian, I think what he's
Stay
doing
alert
right there is
until
like,
they can
what would
return
you do with
2
it?
minutes remaining.
What would you do with them? If you couldn't change your practice, no, the Papua New Guinea tribes.
From the weird. Well, I guess we'll never know the answer to that question because they changed their practices. So
They haven't changed them completely. It's only, I think it's only one tribe that converted over to Christians. They'll keep that practice in place.
well,
It's pretty gross.
I would encourage that tribe to spread the practices because I think there could be resistance to, outsiders.
Yeah. Okay, that was good. That was good. That was an okay. Fair.
Papua New Guinea, as they were engaged in
Please
that
retrieve your
practice,
equipment
just like
and
drop
get back in the fight.
Gone.
Warning.
How does that make the
Your
world
buddy
work?
has been badly injured. Your buddy is confirmed down. Stay
So
alert
in the
until they
bottom
can
are a bunch
return
of
to battle.
people that were raised into harmful citizens that those potentially
1 minute remaining. Return to the
Yes,
front lines and
I
rejoin the
believe
fight.
you.
Like again, I think that you
I totally believe you. Listen,
the boys raised the men.
I
Your
totally
buddy
believe
has
you. I
been
know,
badly
you're right.
injured.
It's all based around
Your
cultural
buddy is
brainwashing
confirmed
and
down.
tradition
Please
that they're going to
retrieve
continue
your
to
equipment
practice
and get back in the fight.
in those places
Yes.
with those adolescents.
Yes, it's bad.
So we went by and we just dropped the bomb right there, and they were gone. How does that make the world a worse place?
30 seconds remaining.
That's not my question.
Would it make the world a worse place? I mean, yeah, probably.
How?
I think
The
that
current
when
phase
you
is
murder a
nearly.
bunch of
Please
people, the
retrieve
world is a
your
worse
buddy
place.
is
I think that
confirmed down.
makes the
Stay
world a
alert
worse
until
place.
they can return to
Yeah, but
battle.
I mean, that's just questions that
Did you murder?
you just think it would make it worse if it would make it worse.
People to bomb, to make it okay to bomb other countries on the basis of their practices. I mean,
Don't we do that all the time? Don't we do that all the time?
Phase complete. You have been removed from the mission.
cultures that view American culture as like an abomination and would want to do something about us, right?
Phase
Yeah.
3.
Like, would they not be just as?
And I really would like to stop importing people from those countries.
It is time to start the mission debriefing.
We don't really import too many of them.
Yeah, we do.
The
Import.
Middle East.
Yeah, we import a lot of them. And we import people who have savage cultural practices from Africa as well. And
Oh,
I think you
savage.
are capable of
from
much
South
more.
America. We import tons of those who come from death cult cities and all sorts of things.
Quinceañeras?
No, it's not quinceañeras. That's do you know how corrupt these governments in South America are due to the fact that they?
Well aware, but people can be from
Yeah.
corrupt, nations with corrupt governments.
Yeah, how many of the Cub Warriors do you want in your countries?
I think that
Yeah.
should, very much help people like that.
You're gonna help us.
This is also a very unique circumstance in
Uh-huh.
which it is ingrained in their culture to diddle kids.
I don't know. It seems to me like the people group who are here, that you're making them unnecessarily suffer by importing people groups they don't want here.
Well, we're not importing them.
We're importing them.
From Papua New Guinea?
No. Other people groups that are
All
probably
right, well,
not
no
us.
one has practices as awful as that.
Yeah, no.
And if they do, they're not allowed
Yeah,
to do it.
Yeah, they do. And how would you even know? They come up illegally. You won't even enforce the damn border. People won't even enforce the border. They come up illegally. You don't even know who the fuck's coming through the border. You have no clue.
You people don't enforce the border.
Yeah, the progressives. They did everything possible not to enforce the border. You voted for the people who were. Did you vote for Biden? Yeah. You said open border policy.
You deported a lot of people.
Because you let a bunch in.
But reported them.
Oh, shit.
Did you, I don't know if we got the full answer though from Peacecraft. Would you find it ethical to conquer that tribe from PNG due to their cultural practices? So not dropping bombs necessarily, but would it be ethical to conquer them to prevent the practice?
What?
No, to conquer?
Yeah.
No, I think that you can. I don't think that that is how you actually enact change. I think that you would.
Okay, go ahead. That's wild to me. Go ahead.
Okay.
I need one of those seltzers.
Successful missionaries generally don't go and.
Booze.
Okay.
Successful missionaries. Do you think that successful missionaries generally go?
Motherfucker just drunk and dominating her.
Or do they carefully change things from the inside? Because again, this is incredibly delicate.
Sometimes
people have no conception that this could be wrong.
And
so I think you have to be careful.
And sometimes missionaries get their brains bashed in and they get their heads put on fire.
Well, that's the kind of thing you have to worry about.
Yeah, I know, but if we just send in the United States Army, we just send in the Marines, and the Marines come in, and they're like, we're going to take this whole area over, okay? And all you chomos over here, if you do any chomo stuff, we're going to take you out. And the kids now, we're going to give them a proper education and balance and food and
I
stuff.
think that the people would resent the rule and be less likely to change their practices. I think that there would be violent rebellion.
How would they be less? How are they going to violently? How are the primitive Stone Age warriors of Papua New Guinea going to?
Give me another gun upgrade. What happens if I upgrade that? No, I don't.
Understanding that is the fundamental. Tonight on Friday, we have a lot to talk about, lots to get into. Big show. It's another slow day. The Tucker cost continues. The Tucker cost. 6 million replies. 6 million think pieces. Why did he conduct the interview? Defending survivor of the Tucker. We'll carry on our coverage of that. The story is all about Megyn Kelly's interview with Ben Shapiro today. Interesting. Yesterday, Yesterday,
field
Megyn
has
Kelly
been
interviewed
confirmed.
Tucker Carlson
Please
about
get
a
ready to
little
deploy.
first-hand account. His first public appearance and a little live reaction from him about all the fallout from the interview. We covered it yesterday. And now today, Megyn Kelly did a live show with Ben Shapiro to get his reaction to all of it, and man, he read her the riot act. Nothing is ever good enough for these people. Boy, babe, Megyn, your friend came so and she's gonna get it so good. Got killed by Israel. It's like, buddy, you're not helping your cause. You're not helping yourself. These people are on your side. Megyn Kelly is on your side. But it's just not good enough. Nothing's ever good enough for these people. So we'll talk about it. He gave her a lecture and interrogated her. I'm not making it up. He interrogated her because she won't disavow Candace Owens. He interrogated her because she won't press Tucker Carlson. And I think the whole country is sick of Ben Shapiro. I think the entire United States of America is right up to about here. Headed up to here with you, little guy. I think we're all ready for Ben Shapiro to go back home to Israel. Am I right? One's in the chat of Ben Shapiro should be denaturalized and deported to Israel. Can we get that trending? Can we get that going? I think we're all ready for Ben Shapiro to go back home to Israel. Am I right? One's in the chat of Ben Shapiro should be denaturalized and deported to Israel. Can we get that trending? Can we get that going? This little guy has got to go home. Little man, it's time for you to go home to Israel. We don't want you here. He goes around saying, I need security everywhere I go because everyone hates me. Well, go live in Israel. You'll be greeted like a hero. It will be a hero's welcome when you return to Israel. They'll play trumpets in the streets. You'll have all of the matzo ball soup, whatever the fuck that you want. You know, it's American. Ben Shapiro is not American. Can we just get that straight? You have forfeited your right to call yourself American. You're not one. You don't care about America. You don't care about Americans. You're not America first. He said in an interview once, the number one character of my loyalty to the United States is Israel. Go there! Go there then! Go home! What's stopping you? Just don't come back next time. Next time you're in Israel hanging out with the war criminal, next time you're over there hanging out and jacking off the war criminal, just stay. You and your Jewish wife and Israeli kids, I think she's Moroccan, actually. I don't think she's Israeli. I think she's like Moroccan Jewish. Just stay there next time. Seriously, fuck out of here. This is the United States. Anyway, so we'll talk about little Ben. We'll talk about little Ben runs and hides. Little Ben runs and hides, doesn't want to debate, screaming and yelling, cancel everybody. We'll talk all about that. According to Patrick Ben Shapiro, Ben Shapiro interviewed on Valuetainment, but he canceled after they interviewed me. So Shapiro was booked for the PBD podcast, but he canceled when he found out that I was on the show. And PBD is not happy with it. Well, welcome to my world, my friend. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my universe. We'll talk all about that. We'll also talk about the continued fallout at the Heritage Foundation. You'll never guess what happened. You're going to be shocked when I tell you this. Are you ready? You guys are going to be absolutely surprised. To tell you. So, you know how the Heritage Foundation president came out and defended Tucker, and he was forced to apologize a million times in front of the board members on Zoom, in front of the staff members at a meeting, and then in a groveling apology video on Twitter. Remember all that? Yeah, well, it turns out that wasn't good enough. the Jews don't consider any of that to be a real apology. And so the National Task Force for Combating Anti-Semitism, nevertheless, has withdrawn from the Heritage Foundation. They have terminated their partnership with the nonprofit, and they will be housed somewhere else. And later in the year, they will be putting on a conference on right-wing anti-Semitism. Is that surprising? Are you shocked? Wait, but I thought Kevin Roberts apologized. I thought he apologized on Zoom and to the staff and at Hillsdale and on Twitter. I thought he apologized for the anti-Semitic soap, to use the word venomous. Yeah, well, it turns out apology not accepted. The Jews have rejected the apology. It was
that you are ready to deploy.
Mission: Survival Capture.
The mission is about to begin. If you have not secured the asset by the end of the phase, you will be removed from the mission. Phase 1. Remaining.
I've secured the asset. Remaining. Resupply request acknowledged. The supply box camouflage will now be removed. Here, use this. Here, use this. I'm headed your way.
30 seconds remaining. This
Can I get some
phase
ammo?
is nearing its end. Make sure to watch the clock.
Here, use this. Throwing grenade!
Warning. Phase complete. You have retrieved the asset. The phase is now complete. Begin making preparations for the next phase.
Throwing grenade!
Phase 2.
sign of the enemy. I need you to cover me.
Remaining.
I've secured the asset. Careful. The enemy's around here somewhere. Nice job out there.
Phase complete. You have retrieved the asset. The phase is now complete. Begin making preparations for the next phase. Phase 3. Redeploy. 2 minutes remaining. Please retrieve your equipment and get back in the fight.
Here, use this.
Harry Jaffa are dead, and Claremont can go fuck itself.
Let's head here
American
next.
Mind did a big piece about me. David Reboy did a piece. National Conservative did a piece. The Blaze did a piece. All the conservative magazines had something to
sign of
say.
the enemy.
Salem Radio had something to say. Mark Levin, all the shows, all had something to say. It's a
sign of
coordinated
the enemy.
attack. They're trying to
Careful.
out
One remaining.
criticism of Israel. Dinesh D'Souza, who was glazing me in June, has been working overtime this week. Working overtime at Twitter.
Front lines.
Seems like
Please
a
get
nice
ready
guy.
to
Never
redeploy.
forget who these people really are. Seems like a nice guy, cordial, nice enough. He's on Twitter attacking us all week. It's a coordinated attack to snuff out any criticism of Israel. And you know what's amazing? Brett Cooper entered
30
into the
seconds
fray
remaining.
talking about Randy Fine. And she said Randy Fine would be happier in Israel, which is objectively true. And then they unload
The
on
current
Brett
phase
Cooper.
is
Have you
nearly
ever
complete.
seen anything
You must
like
secure
this?
the asset as quickly as
Did you
possible.
see this? So Brett Cooper used to work at Daily Wire. Her contract expired. I think it was
Please retrieve
not
your
under the
equipment and
best
get back in the fight.
circumstances. I think it was a little contentious. She left Daily Wire earlier in the year, and then she went on YouTube and
mission
she was
is
doing her
over.
own thing. And as far as I know, nobody really had a problem with her. Everybody was supportive of her, even at Daily Wire. publicly, it
It
was
is time to announce the top
amicable
performing team.
send-off.
Hell yeah!
It wasn't a big, ugly crash down like with Candace Owens, where there was a lot of public acrimony. It was relatively.
It is time to start the mission debriefing.
And Brett Cooper, ever since,
You
has been
did
doing
well.
her thing. She's been doing her YouTube videos, which are not really my
I
cup
see
of
your
tea.
rank
It's a lot
has
of like
increased.
celebrity drama, which is maybe appealing for a female audience. I don't love it. But by all appearances, she's not the worst. She's not the worst commentator. Her takes are not. It's not the worst thing that's out there as far as e-girls and conservatives.
E-girls.
That is until this week. Going along, singing a song. This week she does a video and she weighs in on all this controversy and she talks about Randy Fine. And Randy Fine wants everybody to be canceled. Randy Fine says Tucker is not MAGA. Nobody's MAGA except for Israel. And Brett Cooper says, you know what, Randy Fine, I think you'd be happier in Israel. And oh boy, did she do it when she said that. The clip went viral. Everybody was talking about it. It blew up. It got millions of impressions. She said, Randy Fine, you'd be happier in Israel. You're not allowed to talk like that. And then almost immediately, at the same time that that video goes out, I start to see a clip about how Brett Cooper, when she was interviewed by Sean Ryan, I guess she said that years ago, her and her mother saw a clairvoyant or a medium, a fortune teller. And Brett Cooper claims that she communed with her dead brother through this medium. All of a sudden, I'm seeing this clip everywhere on Twitter. Oh, Brett Cooper practices witchcraft. She's evil. She's a pagan. boos. Then the audience goes, boo. They go, boo, boo. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. You people cheer for genocide in real life. We have reached, by the way, the pinnacle of fake outrage. Talk about fake outrage. I can't wait for my Megyn Kelly interview. You call Jewish people fat pigs, slobs, disgusting animals. Only Ben Shapiro. In fairness, it was more than Ben Shapiro. We have reached the pinnacle of fake outrage. So let me get this straight, Megyn. Megyn with a Y. Let's get this straight, Megyn. There's a genocide going on right now in Gaza. People are being shot in the back of the head. Starving, hungry people on the brink of death are traveling miles by foot in a war-torn area to get food. They're shot in the back of the head. Children are being shot in the head. Prisoners of war are being raped to death. Refugee camps, evacuation zones are being bombed directly, civilians murdered. You're showing a clip of a video game? That's cartoon violence. You're showing a clip from a video game, from Grand Theft Auto. We're supposed to be offended. We're supposed to be shocked. That's supposed to shock our conscience. Randy Fine says all Palestinians are demons. Kill them all. Kill them all. I laugh when children starve to death. That's Congressman Randy Fine. Are you going to show that screenshot before you talk to Ben Shapiro? Are you going to show those screenshots? Is that noxious, vile, horrific, monstrous? Are we even going to talk about that? Are we going to sit there and complain about a video game? What's next? Call of Duty? We have reached the pinnacle of ridiculousness. And if you think that this is helping you, Megyn Kelly, you think this is helping your cause? Think about the problem that they have on their hands. They say millions and millions of young men are following Nick Fuentes. How do we get them to stop? Oh, I know. We're gonna get a blonde mom. We're gonna get a rich white woman. We're gonna get an affluent blonde white woman to concern troll about a video game. He was playing this video game and he killed this character in his video game. You think that's going to get everybody back on board? That's the recipe for winning back the young guys? 15-year-old young guys are going to watch that and say, oh my gosh, I love Nick Fuentes, but then I saw that. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And by the way, this is what I said to Tucker in my interview. When Tucker said, what's going on with men and women? I said, bro, it's the women. The women are henpecking us to death. They're literally killing us with shit like this because they're not letting us be men. They're not. Men are naturally mischievous. We have colorful language. We make inappropriate jokes about race, about women, about violence. That's what men are. And by the way, that's how men cope. That's how men cope with work, violence, confrontation, competition. This is how men get along in the world. We have to. Because men deal in reality. Men deal with the muck and the scum and the chaos of the world. It's men in the sewers. It's men at the construction sites. It's men at the trap houses. It's men that are cops at war. It's men in politics and in business. It's men that make the world go round. And so men, we don't have time, actually, for this kind of nonsense that we get from women where they say, is that appropriate? Do you really think that's appropriate? That's offensive. That's going to hurt someone's feelings. So this is what I mean when I said to Tucker, it's the women. Because men are not being allowed to be men, not legally, not socially. If a man is too much of a man, his wife is going to leave him. And she can and take his stuff.
If a man is too much of a man, he's going to get put on blast. He's going to get read on TikTok or the T app by his ex-girlfriend. And a lot of the men participate in this. They let it happen. We have women our entire lives telling us that's inappropriate. That's not okay. The moms, the school teachers, the college professors, and then eventually the girlfriends and the wives. This is what happens. And people say, the women retort and they say, really? Is being a man playing video games and making jokes? Yeah, it is actually. Being a man is not letting women tell us that's not appropriate. That's what it is to be a man, actually. Being a man is actually living outside of a human resources controlled environment. So yeah, it is actually. This is what I'm saying. It's like they in the conservative intelligentsia are telling everybody, we have a problem, red alert. The young people love Nick Fuentes. That's a symptom of a deeper problem. What's the solution? Let's have a bunch of women and Jews get in their face, pointing their fingers in their face. Hey, listen, you anti-Semitic, misogynistic boys, that's not appropriate. And young guys are supposed to be like, okay, you're right. You're right, Megan. You're right, Ben. We're sorry. It's not funny. Saying the N-word isn't funny. Nick Fuentes isn't funny. You're right. We should just be nice and sensitive again. We should die for Israel. You're right. They're playing it all wrong. It just goes to show they still don't get it. And I don't know if Tucker was sincere when he said that he was trying to listen, or if that was like a roundabout way of he was trying to put a demonstration on. This is what's wrong with the youth. But I hope someone was actually listening, because I speak for the people when I was talking about all of it, when I was talking about Jewish identity and the women. And here they are together. Megyn Kelly and Ben Shapiro are going to get together and cry about a Grand Theft Auto clip. Seriously? Is that what you think is going to win everybody back? They play that as if to say, like, oh, now that you see who he really is, now you're not going to like him. That was a clip you chose? I'm laughing playing a video game. You don't even know what it is. You don't know the first thing about any of it. You don't care. You don't care. Anyway, but this is the article. This is from The Hill. This is some of the exchange between Shapiro and Megyn Kelly. It says, quote, conservative media pundits Ben Shapiro and Megyn Kelly sparred this week over an interview Tucker Carlson conducted with white nationalist Nick Fuentes. Shapiro said, if I see somebody breach basic moral values by having on a Nazi, in my own view, gloss the Nazi, then I'm going to speak out about that. By the way, it's glaze. I don't know what he keeps saying gloss. I don't know what he means by that. Unless he literally means, like, metaphorically glossing, putting a gloss on something. I've never heard it used in that way before. Not repeatedly like this. He goes on, he says, I'm going to point out there is a long pattern of him ideologically laundering terrible ideas over the course of the last 2 years, ranging from traveling to Russia to sniff the bread and explain why the Russian regime is wonderful, to saying last week that the Venezuelan regime of Nicolas Maduro is not that bad. Kelly responded saying she wasn't interested in being Carlson's defender, but noted Maduro is culturally conservative. Shapiro shot back, who gives a shit? I don't give a shit whether he's anti-gay rights. This is the number one thing about Maduro. Shapiro has been sharply critical of Carlson following his interview of Fuentes, who has a history of making anti-Semitic, sexist, and other offensive comments. The episode sparked widespread condemnation, primarily among members of the conservative right. Later in the day, Patrick Bet-David weighed in as well. This is from Mediaite. Let me take a sip of this real quick.
That's crazy, bro.
Excuse me. It says podcaster Patrick Bet-David weighed in on the MAGA split over Tucker's controversial interview with white nationalist Nick Fuentes on Friday, telling his viewers that conservative podcaster Ben Shapiro canceled his interview with Bet-David after his own interview with Fuentes last month. Speaking on the PBD podcast, Bet-David said that Shapiro's virulent criticism of Carlson and his defenders only serves to raise Fuentes' profile. He said, Ben Shapiro, the more they talk about Nick Fuentes, the more they raise his profile. Nick Fuentes, if I'm his agent, I would say, Nick, phenomenal. Your number one PR rep this week was Ben Shapiro. Send them a $10 GoFundMe and congratulate him, saying thank you for supporting the cause and raising awareness to who I am. He then slammed Shapiro for pulling out of his interview with Bet-David, calling his actions unattractive. He said, quote, when I said, I want to have Nick on, I looked at the booking team after Ben was confirmed. I said, if they cancel, it's because of me agreeing to have Nick on. 2 weeks later, Ben cancels. Why? Why do you cancel? So what is the brand? Why not have conversations? We're not a firebrand. We're not. Well, let's see. Maybe next year. No, I'm not interested. Don't big shot yourself. It's unattractive. He went on to criticize Shapiro's political takes. To Ben was wrong with 2016. He was wrong with DeSantis.
eigentlich kein Hardcore. Ja, diese dicke Hardcore. Das war mein letzter Part.
Ethanol. Wir kommen in Schwarzdicker mit paar Liter Ethanol. Keine Liebe für den Staat. Siamo tutti Antifa. Siamo tutti Antifa. Siamo tutti Antifa. Siamo tutti Antifa. Siamo
AfD. Endlich ist dieser Scheiß, Entschuldigung für das Wort, AfD da endlich raus, ja? Und solche Dinge.
Ich finde das zum Beispiel ein bisschen schwierig zu sagen, die da drüben oder die wollen nicht mit uns reden. Habe ich auch einen gewissen Teil dazu beigetragen, dass ich irgendwie jetzt gerade diese Spaltung in dem Maße beschreibe, dass ich jetzt schwierig zu sagen, die da drüben oder die wollen nicht mit uns reden. Habe ich auch einen gewissen Teil dazu beigetragen, dass ich irgendwie jetzt gerade diese Spaltung in dem Maße beschreibe, dass ich jetzt sage, ich bin auf der Seite, die anderen sind auf der Seite und die sind pauschal schlecht. Das stimmt natürlich nicht.
Nikolai Nährling ist Grundschullehrer, der wegen Hetzvideos und Holocaust-Verschwörungstheorien im Unterricht aus dem Schuldienst entlassen wurde. Der Fall machte bundesweit Schlagzeilen.
Dankeschön.
Do you know how to steal a catalytic converter?
No.
Why don't you learn how to do that so you could change careers?
I don't want to change career.
But you could make...
Look, don't get me wrong. I played the new Kirby Air Riders demo at PAX, and I have some mixed feelings. First of all, I loved the original Kirby Air Ride as a kid. And let's be real, when you think of Kirby Air Ride or Riders, you're probably thinking about City Trial. So you would hope that part of the game is well executed. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure how to feel about it. The game mode now supports up to 16 players that can join over wireless play, and the potential of that is cool, but how often are you actually going to be playing with 16 people? Having the option for that many players, by the way, is not a problem. That's perfectly fine. It's just the fact that after the city phase of City Trial, you get to choose which minigame you want to play. Not vote on which minigame the group plays, by the way. You choose for yourself. So what I found happening during my playtest most of the time was that the 4 local players in our test groups would just split up entirely. Most of the time it felt like we were just playing our games next to each other rather than...
This is every Mario Galaxy fan's favorite level to nerd out to, and now it's my turn. Slimy Springs starts out with this somber, melancholy music. 2 bats and 2 torches greet you at the front of a...
I've actually used Cloud Code like every single day, and I want to show you why Cloud Code stood out to me instead of...
Member of the AFD. Finally, this crap, excuse me for the word, AFD is finally out. Yes, and things like that.
Okay, so I don't know who this black man is, but please listen to him. Make his plate. Be quiet when he's talking. He's telling the truth. He says that they want to use the image of black people for SNAP benefits, but in reality, white people are the biggest recipient of SNAP. Just so you know, the money they SNAP, some of the programs begin in 1964. It was started when President Lincoln Johnson as part of his war on poverty. Now, we all know the SNAP experience during the Great Depression in the 1930s, when the government tried to get surplus food from hungry Americans. The idea was promised at extra cost. Americans would starve on food stamps to hold the economy. But here's the racial truth they leave out. The original rollout of food stamps was designed with white poverty in mind. Early recipients were mostly white, especially in states like Kentucky, West Virginia, and throughout the Midwest and South. It wasn't until the 1970s and 80s, post-civil rights movement, that more early black communities gained access to food stamps. That's when stereotypes, shaming, and
everything.
Wait, what? Eh. Yo. Christ, bro.
Oh, I be crafting, sir. Let me show you a little something. Let me just Oh wait, that's the wrong video. Hello and welcome to my show. Today, I will be trying to make
Alright, that's beautiful and everything, but can you, like, stop kink shaming me, please? Like, damn, that's, like, really against, like, your ethos and the concept of everything you stand for, I would feel, as an empowered young woman, as a boss bitch. Hashtag gaslight gate, keep girl boss, you know? And especially, I mean, maybe it's because you don't want to mix business and work. I guess I can understand that concept, but still. And fuck, bro. I didn't fucking ask for it, bro, okay? Okay, it wasn't my fault. I didn't choose it. Fuck me, bro, okay? It's crazy, bro. I didn't wish this, bro. FML, 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 bro. Aber wie siehst du aus? fight. Don't fight. Double. Liberia, nigga. Alright. Oh. 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 Liberia.
because you're watching that in real time. When you're seeing this reaction, the way that Ben Shapiro got up and lectured Megyn Kelly, Megyn, I know she's a big girl, she's tough, but how did you feel when Ben Shapiro was interrogating you? How did you feel when he felt like he had the right to lecture you and wag his finger in your face, like he's your moral better? How did that feel when he did that? That feel good?
You're a big girl.
Patrick Bet David, when Ben Shapiro big-timed you and told you he wasn't going to come on the show, how did that feel? Did you feel respected? I flew to do Patrick Bet David's show on my own dime. And I went, and I was nothing but polite and shook everybody's hand and was respectful and easygoing. How did that feel when the other guy went? So that's PBD and Megyn Kelly. The other story I want to talk about was Heritage Foundation and their continued collapse. We've been talking about this all week, and we'll recap the basic story. At this point, I think you know. Tucker Carlson does the interview. Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation, the Reagan think tank, he comes out and defends Tucker. It's totally unacceptable. For defending Tucker, everybody attacks this guy, Kevin Roberts. So he is getting blown out on Twitter. His employees are in revolt. His board members are in revolt. They're leaking internal communications. He's getting yelled at by his donors, his alumni. Everybody's out to get this guy. And Heritage Foundation is partnered with a group called the National Task Force for Combating Anti-Semitism. And these guys are threatening to pull out. They're threatening to terminate the relationship with Heritage. PR disaster. So what is Kevin Roberts?
That's so crazy.
Forced to do? He makes an apology. Kevin Roberts comes out no less than 3 or 4 times.
Shout out.
He goes on Dana Lash's show last Friday and apologizes. He goes on a private Zoom meeting on Monday and apologizes to the board. He goes to Hillsdale in a speech at the university and apologizes to the student body. He goes to a town hall meeting on Tuesday, which was then leaked to the internet, and apologizes to everybody. Then he goes on Twitter and posts an apology statement. And it's ridiculous.
Only Silber, only Silber, only Silber.
Well, first and foremost, he said that it was anti-Semitic of him to say that the people canceling Tucker were venomous. In his video defending Tucker, he said a venomous coalition was trying to cancel him. So first and foremost, he apologized because to say something is venomous is anti-Semitic. That was the first apology. The second apology is that he should have condemned Tucker and didn't choose his words carefully. And it goes on like this. What's more, he said that Yoram Hazony, the Jewish Israeli head of national conservatism, flew to D.C. this week to help him get better. He said he needs to be a better person. And his Jewish mentor is going to help him do it. Thank you so much, he says. You had to do that. Thank you. I'm grateful. This whole staff is yelling at him. There's like IDF soldiers and a staff yelling at him. And do you know what happens today? After all of this, after this literal humiliation ritual, what else could you call it other than a literal humiliation ritual? Literal, ritualistic humiliation. What happens in the end? The Task Force for Combating Anti-Semitism, they cut ties with Heritage anyway. After all that, all the apologies, all the bending over backwards, all that cucking out, and they still cut ties anyway. This is from the New York Times. It says, quote, a task force dedicated to fighting anti-Semitism is leaving the Heritage Foundation as the think tank grapples with the fallout from its president's defense of Tucker Carlson. In an email obtained by the New York Times, 4 leaders of the National Task Force to Combat Anti-Semitism wrote, quote, it is important for us to continue the work of the NTFCA outside the Heritage Foundation for a season. Heritage, a pillar of the conservative movement for decades, helped create and support the task force.
increasingly they do, especially after the last election. There's a 45-point difference between men and women. The men are extremely conservative, increasingly. The women are extremely liberal.
What are they liberal on? What issues? Like, what does that mean, liberal?
Oh, they're very feminist.
Like, actually?
Extremely feminist, yes.
I don't believe that, do they?
I think they do.
Really?
Absolutely,
How do you
yes.
believe that? Like, gender roles are a construct, that none of this is inborn? Like, you'd have to be an idiot to think that.
They like the idea of it. They like because, of course, I think all women naturally want strong men. They naturally want a Chad. You know, they want like a tall, buff guy. But I think they like the idea of none of them want to work either. None of them actually work.
No, that's what I'm saying. Of course, that's right. It's obviously true. It's always been true. Work outside the home.
Right.
They don't have enough work at home. You know, there's a lot to do. But no, I completely agree. So that's why I question, like, their feminism. In what sense?
Yes. And, you know, they like these vague appeals to equality. We want a chance to work and we want respect. And, you know, ultimately, I think the whole political system is just based around women never being accountable for any of their choices. Ultimately, that seems to be that's what abortion is.
Yeah, of course.
Because 99% of abortions are elective. So they say it's an unplanned pregnancy. You had sex out of wedlock with someone you didn't intend to have kids with. So now we have to kill the kids in the womb. And, you know, these no-fault divorce laws. These women get married to guys maybe they never intend to stay with. And then when they're out, they're done. And they want child support and they want half the stuff. And I think a lot of men are looking at women and they're very liberal. They're overweight. They have a very high estimation of themselves. I think that people call it hoflation.
Hoflation?
Yes, their sense of their own looks and sexual value is very inflated. And so a lot of people are looking at these like frumpy, obnoxious, loudmouth, liberal women who are also very promiscuous and saying this is not actually appealing at all. And I don't want to start a family with a person.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it is.
But if you believe in the patriarchy, as I fervently do, because it's just reality, you know, we didn't choose the system. We were born into a system that is part of nature. Can't get out of it. So if you believe that that's true, which it is, then you think that men should lead, and if it's going to be better, men should make it better, because that's their job.
Right.
So you don't want to give them a pass, do you? It'd be like, it's all the girls suck, so.
I don't even blame it on the women, because I think that it's the incentive structures. You know, women are allowed to do this by the legal system, by kind of social norms. Technology is a big part of it, the attention that is available to women. Women go on Instagram and they get attention from thousands of men. So it's the incentives. But I would say that, because I hear this all the time, people say, well, the men need to step up and be better and lead the women. Easier said than done. You know,
of course, I agree with that.
They're at war with the system, and not even just the system, but also society. Because let's say you find one of these so-called good girls who's Christian and traditional, but through osmosis, wherever you go, she's going to be in society. She's going to be on TikTok. She's going to be on Instagram. She's going to be talking to other women. And maybe she's one way when you meet and get married, but 10 years down the road, 15 years, 20 years down the road, people change. And I think that women, as kind of the ultimate conformists, the ultimate enforcers of like social norms, I think eventually the pressure from society kind of gets to them. And a lot of them will go in.
Depends what kind of husbands they have. I mean, if there's real leadership at home, I don't know a single happily married woman who's liberal. Not one. I know a lot of married women. I mean, I'm 56. All the women I know are married. And every happily married woman is non-liberal. I can't even imagine. There's no category for happily married, middle-aged, liberal woman. There's never been one.
Right.
So, like, maybe the job is to, make a girl happy and, like, all this nonsense ends.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that could be a bottomless pit, too, because the one critique I have of the men is, and you're right about this, they enable this behavior.
Well, that's for sure.
This epidemic of simps who, and especially with Christians, I've noticed this. This is why Andrew Tate has so much appeal, and the Christians are kind of losing this conversation. Andrew Tate's a Muslim polygamist who is very chauvinistic, and you could even argue it as someone who has ran an OnlyFans site himself, like, is not an observer, let's say, of Christian sexual morality.
No.
But men are going with him because he's putting women in their place. He's talking about patriarchy and women's place in a society like that, whereas Christian men, Catholics, Protestants alike, are both kind of tone policing the men. And they worship their wives. They worship the women, put them on a pedestal. And they kind of get bossed around. They get henpecked by the women.
I think we're required to love our wives. Like, that's, I mean,